Today's about online safety and teaching online safely remotely. I thought we'd better just possibly start off with a discussion about why online safety is so important currently. Obviously, with children all working remotely as schools, we're encouraging them onto the internet far more than they would have been possibly. We're also at a time when, because of social distancing, children are not able to play with each other. And so I know from my own teenagers who we're cooped up with here, that actually they are missing social interactions and are turning increasingly to online methods of talking to each other. We know that therefore will lead them open to possibly more risks. So various organisations have tried to come up with some resources which schools could promote, many of which are designed now for parents to engage with children, which I think is actually not a bad thing, because it has always, for a long time, been the biggest struggle to try and get parents to engage with schools and the children. Now we're more or less handing it over to them and saying, well, actually, you really do need to engage with the children because you are being their at-home teachers as well. So it's probably a good time in some ways for online safety, but we are also, aware that the risks are higher than they have been. We need to maybe up our game, I think, as schools, and we need to make it a higher priority. Some schools have been really, really good at this, at drip feeding the message about keeping yourself safe online and being smart online, using the smart rules, and building that into a lot of existing lessons. Schools have been building it into assembly times and things like that. But obviously, I think it needs to be a heightened agenda probably for every school moving forwards, because of the probability that children are going to put themselves at a greater risk, unfortunately. My go-to is still Think You Know, the CEOP Run website, which I've got up here. I would highly encourage all of you who are teachers to register at Children's Workforce. You need to register with a school account, and it gives you access to a lot of the resources that you need to have access to. But it's also a brilliant place to promote with your children. The parent and carer section's got great advice for parents and will help them understand how to engage. And their current big push is these online safety at home packs, which I know we've promoted as 123 ICT, and highly recommend you promote these to your parents. They're being added to as we go. If I click through to the link, it will take us through to the page about the home activity packs and explains a little bit about them. Their activity packs for 4 to 5-year-olds, 5 to 7-year-olds, 8 to 10-year-olds, and for secondary age children as well as a little extra advice for people introducing it. So it's a brilliant set of resources that I think have come at the right time, and really, really highly recommend promoting those. The other things I highly recommend promoting are some of the resources with your children that are here. So in 8 to 10, it's been updated with the new Band Runner resources, obviously. And so here there is a game they can play, a Band Runner game. It's information about some of the characters from the cartoons. They can watch the films here as well. And by clicking at the top, they can go into a game which helps reinforce some of the rules and the messages. So lots and lots of things here, as well as a section for grown-ups as parents and carers, again, to help explain a little bit more about what's going on here. So there's lots and lots of good resources. So the Think You Know site, as I say, great for all ages. There are also very good resources for the younger children. And again, it says, are you a parent and carer? So again, you can get more information tailored to you as a parent, or if you're a child, it takes you in and it says, what age are you? And again, it's all based around the new Jessie videos, which are lovely cartoons. And it gives you an ability to watch the cartoons here, and is a great thing for parents to share with their children and to then better discuss about. So there are some lovely things to point people out on the Think You Know website. And particularly with these new parent packs, they are just increasingly a very good resource to share with families. So thinkyouKnow.co.uk, top of my list, and always has been and always will be. I am one of their CEOP ambassadors, and yes, they're a great organisation with some really, really good resources. They also host the CEOP Report Abuse button, which gets you through to the virtual global task force. So if families are worried about things that are happening online, this is a brilliant place to send them to. And I know lots of schools have this as part of their website as well. Sometimes it looks like this, the click seal one at the bottom here, but they've nearly always got the VGT, the Virtual Global Task Force I, which is this sort of mark of being available 24/7. So again, another really good thing to just reflag to families and to the children that if they're worried about something that's happening, if they're worried about interactions online, somebody asking them too many questions or whatever it is, this is a great place to go to just see if they can get some help. So thinkyounknow.co.uk, very, very good resources. Google have some resources as well, as we're a Google partner. Google Interland and Be Internet Legends as a program have been around for some time now. And these, there are printed resources, but it's all available online, which is absolutely brilliant through this toolkit. And again, there's information for parents here as well. So if you want to be able to introduce it to your children, to your parents, then this is a great thing. It's again all based around an online game, a bit like the CEOP one. But there's lots and lots of information for you as teachers. You can download and order resources, as it says, the scheme of work itself. And there are all sorts of plans as part of the lesson plans. And then using it on a Chromebook, which can be set up via the admin console, using it with Google Classroom. There's lots and lots and lots of things to support you working remotely with your children on this, which is really, really good. So again, it's just another set of rules. They are aligned to the SMART rules. They're very similar to the SMART rules, but they are just slightly different. So this is really quite a nice way of reinforcing the message in a slightly different way. And again, because it's game based, the children like playing the game. It's something that you can ask them to do now at home, and they've got some time to do it, and they will learn as they play the game as well, which is absolutely brilliant. So that is available. There is a very good promotional video which sort of explains it and talks about the benefits, and again, which I would suggest possibly sharing with parents. And it's available on YouTube, so it's a link you can just send home and say, look, have a look at this, or if you're thinking about engaging with Be Internet Legends with your children. So go to youtube.com, and all you need to do is search for Be Internet Awesome, get you to one of the better ones. There we are, Be Internet Awesome. That introduces it from Google. Great little video that will explain everything about the Internet Awesome, Internet Legends branding. So there's some great resources there. We put together a 1, 2, 3 classroom, Google Classroom, which we've been offering to any of our schools who have got Google set up. This is specifically for staff. We've put lots and lots of resources and links into here. We thought it was an easier way of sharing resources than our website in some ways, because we can link to videos very quickly and easily. We can link to PDFs and other content. So a lot of the online safety links are in here. So if your school would like access to this, then you need to get in contact with us, and we'll try and join you up so you can access these classrooms. There are all the links though. So there's some brand new SMART rules resources out from ChildNet, which are video based. childnet.com resources, video lessons. And again, they're still in development. They're coming slowly but surely. So the S rule is out here. These are the people who bought the very annoying pirates. I found them very annoying, but that's probably because I've watched them so many times. But again, it's really tailored 6 to 9 year olds. And again, a quick video and then some activities really based around being used now remotely, because it's sort of video based and it makes it easier for you as teachers. So the Be Smart with a Heart is this new campaign which they've got from ChildNet International. So highly recommend that. That's available, as I say, and we've linked to that now from this classroom. Internet Awesome, the bits and pieces are there, including the video. So if you don't want to go Googling it and you've got access to this classroom, it's in there for you to look at as a teacher. The CEOP stuff at home, again, we're sharing as much of this as we can if possible. There are also other resources, resources from Google about how to distance learn, preparing families, teaching computing and programming, some ideas of things you might want to teach at home, upskilling staff and things. So there's lots of content now in that space if you want access to that classroom. I've mentioned that one. What we're also doing is we're offering some of these classes to schools for their children, and you may or may not be aware of these, so I thought I'd mention them in passing. This is the upper key stage 2 one, so we've got a key stage 1, a lower key stage 2, and an upper key stage 2 classroom, which can be, if you like, bolted onto your existing Google Classrooms. It's an extra classroom your children can join, and they can get to some resources. So we've got some sort of computing challenges. So this one was based around Google Earth with some resources and some activities for children to do. This one's around Scratch Long Jump, which is the current Scratch program we've got. It starts off with a game design brief, a link through to Scratch so you can get through to Scratch. And then there are, in this case, 2 videos, which are YouTube videos that we've created and hosted, which takes children through step-by-step how to do it. So nothing to do with online safety, but I say these are available here. There are micro-bit ones coming next week and the week after. But what we have got is some online safety, including the online safety quiz, which has been, so we've got a number of children now starting to engage with the classroom, which is great. And some of them have indicated they've finished it, which is wonderful. The quiz is quite nice, and again, we'll go through quizzes again on Monday for those of you who are quite keen to work out a bit more about quizzes. So because it's fairly anonymous to us, we're collecting a little bit of data just to work out a little bit about sort of demographics. But I've managed to embed through the videos that are already up on YouTube the play, like, share videos for Key Stage 2 from CEOP, from Think You Know. So there are a number of these videos. So I've put each video in. So the idea is a child can come here, can watch the video and can make it full screen if they wish. And then once they've watched the video, there's a whole load of questions around it. And it's self-marking, which is wonderful for me. Although some of the multiple choice ones where there's several correct answers, children are only picking one, and so I'm having to go through and just sort of manually give them a mark for that. So it's broken into sections, which makes it nice and fairly accessible. There's the 3 videos and 3 lots of questions, and then there's an open-ended question at the end, which is interesting to see the extra features, the extra things that children are coming up with. So quizzes like this, a very good way of, again, reinforcing the message using the existing resources, the things from like Play, Like, Share, the videos from Bandrunner, from CEOP, through the Think You Know website, and available through YouTube. So it's brilliant to be able to use some of these resources and bring everything together. The other thing I wanted to promote is we've got a website, 123safe.co.uk. And those schools who've had me come out and do parent sessions, this is the link I leave at the end of the parent sessions, because I've got information and things on here. So sporadically, as new things come out, like the parental activity packs, we'll put up posts with information, current news. But the Online Safety for Parents and the Online Safety for Teachers pages have got collections of links and resources that would be useful maybe immediately. So things like links to the professional helpline from the South West Group for Learning Safer Internet Centre, knowing how to get help. There are various sources for that, and then lots and lots of links and resources to be able to use. And again, I've embedded the Be Internet Awesome video from Google, because again, it just introduces that. So there's lots of nice, handy, helpful resources, and it grows sporadically as new things come out. And we've got a page for parents specifically as well. So again, it points them in the direction of some of the resources that parents may want to use. So again, a resource, feel free to share if you think it's going to be useful. 123safe.co.uk is another resource. So online safety, I think, yes, it's challenging in lots of ways. We need to reinforce the message to children. We need to get them to really internalize and take on board the message. And that's one of the biggest problems when I go and do stand-up big sessions and talk to children. It's great while I'm there, but I know, I talk, they listen. How much that's retained is debatable. So I would also highly recommend, if you've got a chance, set them a project to do, set them a task to do that will help them internalize, help them embed the rules. For your older children, say your year 5s and 6s, ask them to create something which you're going to then share with the year 3, 4. So whether that is asking them to create a poster, paper, pencils, photograph it with dad's iPhone or whatever, upload the picture, share it to you in your classroom. You can then take those from the folder in your Google Classroom, and you can share those out to the year 3, 4s, for example, or if you're not using Google Classroom, share them a different way. So getting them to create a resource that makes them really think about it will help embed that message. If you're looking at something a little bit more challenging, then why not challenge them to create a podcast? If you're one of our 1, 2, 3 scheme of work schools, there is a challenge all about creating a podcast, and free software like Audacity can be downloaded by parents on their Windows machines at home and also on Mac. Not the latest version of Mac OS, unfortunately, but Audacity is available for free. If children have got access to iOS devices, so iPads, iPhones, iPods, then GarageBand, again, free app, that can be used for creating a podcast. So why not get them to produce their own radio show? They could perform a jingle, introduce their radio show, talk all about online safety, go through the rules. That would be a lovely way of them, again, having to write a script, having to think about what the message is, and helps them internalize the message around the rules about staying safe online. So definitely well worth that, or even get them to create a video promoting it, or if possible an animation of some sort. That gets a little harder with software animation side. There are various online services that let you do that, but that gets a little more challenging. But certainly, yes, in theory, children could create a video, they could appear. They could even, if you don't want the children to appear, then there's nothing to stop them sock puppeting, hand and getting a sock puppet to say the words, and they never appear on the actual camera. So yeah, there's lots of possibilities, but definitely I think giving children a chance to sit down and say, right, okay, here's the message, I've got to explain it for this audience, would be really useful. And again, with your year 3s and 4s, they could do information that would be available, that you make available maybe to next year's year 3s, because I do think it needs to be a slightly different message for the Key Stage 1 children. There are the Jessie and Friends resources, which, again, I've turned into a simple quiz, which a child could hopefully do with a parent. How old are you? Here's a video to watch. And again, Jessie and Friends is broken into short episodes. It's really designed so that the first video is used with reception children, the second video is used with year 1 children, the third video is used with year 2 children. So we've tried to break them up slightly in this classroom. And then, we just reinforce the characters we've met, and then which part of the video did you like? And again, because I can pop in images alongside text here, it makes it slightly more accessible for younger children to use a quiz this way. And again, it's a second video, a little bit about how you feel, really, just to really get them to reflect and think about it, and then they can hand it in. So there are some lovely resources, as I say, and it's how you can share that, which is maybe a bit more of a challenge for you. And then, as I say, it is a different message, but the big message really for Key Stage 1 is all about talking to a parent or carer if you're worried about it. Who's your trusted adult or adults, when you're at school? Okay, it could be your teacher, but now you're at home. Who's your trusted adults? If you're worried about anything at all, if you're not sure, the best thing to do is always to go and check with the adult. So that's the key message for Key Stage 1. I'm still promoting smart rules for Key Stage 2. It's interesting, I was reflecting on this. I was teaching smart rules for Key Stage 2 back in the early 2000s. So they've been around for an awfully long time. And they've been around for an awfully long time because they're all about behavior, not about the technology. So they are still current. They are still a very good way of getting children to think about online safety, because it's about how they behave that's still the issue. So seeing these new resources about being smart with a heart from ChildNet, it is still a bang on message, because it is all about how I behave and what risks I put myself at. So yes, it's a challenge, definitely, to teach online safety, but there are, say, increasingly good resources and videos that we should be sharing. So whether it is you just ping out YouTube links to parents and say, please watch these with your children and discuss it, and share things like those lovely packs from Think You Know, the parent support packs, or whether it is you set them children a task of having a go at the game on Think You Know, or accessing the Be Internet Awesome resources and getting them to play Be Internet Legends the game. All of these things are brilliant for reinforcing the online safety rules, and I think it's such an important thing to get children to think about that at the moment. Absolutely, definitely. So all the links are available at our 123safe.co.uk website, but I would highly recommend, if you look at nothing else, looking at Think You Know and registering yourselves as teachers.